In this lesson, we explore Sheerpower's powerful input validation engine and learn how to validate dates, times, patterns, expressions, routines, menus, and more, all using compact, readable rules. We also dive into one of Sheerpower's strongest features, chained filter pipelines with restore, allowing real-world text to be cleaned, normalized, and validated in a single pass. In this section, you'll learn exactly how the valid function processes input based on readable rule strings. We'll cover date formats, time formats, structural rules, and validation of code constructs, something most languages don't even attempt. Then we move on to Sheerpower's filter pipelines, which let you trim, change case, replace characters, and even restore the original value later in the same rule chain. The heart of validation is the valid function. It accepts a text string and a set of rules. Rules are read left to right, and each one must succeed for validation to pass. You can chain rules using semicolons, and you can insert filter steps anywhere in the chain. The result is an expressive, readable pipeline that describes exactly what you expect from incoming data. Sheerpower includes built-in support for common business date formats. Date format checks for the classic 2-digit year format. Date format validates a 4-digit year. If the format is legal and the calendar value is valid, the rule returns true. Otherwise, false. The full-time rule validates a combined date, time format, either with a century prefix or without. This format is used heavily in logging and auditing systems. Note that some builds return false as 0, a good reminder to verify return codes in your environment. These rules handle everyday structural checks. Pattern matches text against a flexible formatting rule. Required ensures you don't accept empty or whitespace-only inputs. Yes or no restricts values to yes, no, y, or n. And printmask verifies a Sheerpower printmask before it gets used. Sheerpower uniquely validates actual program constructs. Expression confirms that text is a syntactically valid Sheerpower expression. Code checks a full code block. Menu verifies input menu definitions. And routine checks whether a routine actually exists in the program. This makes your programs far more robust, especially when loading configuration files or end-user scripts. The vrules rule validates the rules set itself. This is an excellent defensive step, especially in systems where rule strings come from config files or user input. If the rule set is improper or misspelled, you'll know immediately. Filters pre-process text before it's validated. You can trim spaces, convert case, replace characters, remove characters, or do complex remapping. This allows you to accept messy real-world input but validate it as if it were clean. Filters make rule chains more reliable and more expressive. These examples show the power of filters. Remove characters, replace digits, trim whitespace, whatever you need. Then validate using standard rules such as letters or number. This keeps your business logic clean and declarative. In some workflows, you want to validate the filtered version and the original input. This is where restore comes in. It rewinds the text back to its untouched state, allowing multiple validation stages inside a single rule string. It's extremely powerful for real-world data, where you often must normalize input but still apply rules to the original characters. Real input is messy. Users add spaces, mix cases, and type stray characters. By normalizing first and restoring later, you can validate both the cleaned value and the literal value, all in one call. Think of your vrules as a pipeline: filter, restore, validate. This leads to clearer, safer code. Validation becomes incredibly expressive when you combine rules. You can clean data, validate formats, verify code constructs, and check dependencies in one readable pipeline. Using vrules ensures your rule strings are correct at startup, and confirming return codes helps avoid surprises, especially when mixing rule types. In summary, Sheerpower's validation engine gives you a clean, declarative way to express even complex rules. Filters normalize text, restore brings you back to the original, and semicolon-chained rule strings describe your intent clearly. Whether validating dates, expressions, code blocks, or free-form input, Sheerpower keeps your validation predictable, readable, and efficient.